Have you done an invertebrate study here yet?
Yep.
What did it turn out?
Really well. It's a really healthy stream.
That was a nice one.
Holy cow!
Oh, look at that one.
Whoa!
He's not happy. Oh, there he is. Look at that.
Oh! Wow! Shady spot there somewhere? That guy never made it back to the lake.
I think that one was good.
Well, you get a nice pool like that. Brown, of course. But you got a lot of rainbows in here. These are resident. Well, it could be. There's no way of telling. It could be from Moscow. But here's a little rainbow. This year's fish. Only
There's another crayfish.
April. I mean, hatched eggs laid in April and hatched out just a little while ago. There's last year's rainbow.
So how long do they stay here?
This fish could either leave this fall or next spring. They stay 1.5, 2.5, or 3.5 years in the stream. Most of them leave at this size right here. They'll undergo a pretty strong physical change. Use all these power marks, about big silvery look. Isn't that nice? They're really quite a nice fish.
We lost one of our black nose to one of the browns.
Really?
Yeah, ate it right in there, sucked it right down.
Well, these are sculpins. Sculpin are probably #1 fish food. Black nose bass.
Yeah, he's one of the guys who got eaten.
Yeah. These are, I believe these are all run-of-the-year rainbows. That's what they look like. Yeah, they're all the same.
Yeah, this year.
This year's fish, yeah. Hatched just a little while ago. You see the variation. This one came out early, of course, and then the other ones. Oh, he done the adipose fin. Yeah, he's very nicely marked. Yeah, that's a gorgeous fish. But
they need pretty good water to live in, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Be real healthy.
Hard to tell the difference, but there's two different fish.
I was gonna say it should be
Just
fine here.
the waterworks.
Black nose.
What the hell is that?
I was sculpting.
Let me see that again.
These guys. Plenty of those. It's a good sign. It's one of the trout's preferred foods.
That's what that big guy's been eating for the past
Yeah.
2 months.
Sculpin.
Sculpin?
Sculpin. S-C-U-L-P-I-n.
How big do they get?
Yeah, they get pretty good size like that. Not that big around.
I'm not sure.
What do your neighbors got? Late summer. Maybe September.
How big was he?
Huh? No?
How big was that, Chris?
18. It's nice. It's nice. And then the trout is down. Well. That's just another spot. Yeah, see that?
Yes.
It's okay? We can get a great run going here. I mean, it's probably like this out for miles up here. Yeah.
No, why this not work?
That was it, right? Yeah. I said they loaded up their sewage treatment plant.
Probably gonna
They're going to stand it out over there.
now,
I'm glad to see some work done. The trout can make it up past here. Over the past years, they haven't been able to make it. And thanks to Trout Unlimited and Lee and Chandler, they're going to do some work this year, and we're all looking forward to seeing it happen.
I think it's better than 50%. Yeah, but in the box here, I mean, in the box. Ooh, 50 minimum, I would give it a 60. I would say the caps are 60. The fish will be soft, you know? That sound about right? Let them get away, you know, they go underneath, they go downstream, yeah?
How big?
5 inches, maybe, yearlings.
You must be making it up through that.
Oh, some of them are, you know, not. Some make it. It's the ones that the very best comprehensive. Some of them can't even really come up, so they're not gonna make it.
Oh, my battery's dying.
I mean, down at the Fishway Ithaca, we had run that. You only get half the fish. Come up the ladder. The generator's lugging down pretty good. We must have some pretty good action going on here.
We went downstream and then went upstream to this culvert, and we found a bunch of rainbows, some brown trout, dace, sculpin. We had a lot more density of rainbow trout, and young of the year rainbow trout, especially downstream of the culvert, and upstream we got, how many did we get?
Upstream we got about rainbow, 13 rainbow upstream compared to a lot
Yeah.
downstream.
Probably 30, 20, 25, 30 at least
And
upstream.
you can look at the ratio, you can see whereas downstream the rainbow are out-competing the dace. Upstream without that competition, that the dace have pretty much taken over the ecological niche that would normally be occupied by the rainbow.
One of the biggest things to notice too is that there's no really young rainbow above the culvert. So obviously some of them made them every once in a while, every couple of years, but there's not a density of the real small ones. Like we were counting handfuls of smaller rainbows below the culvert, and all the ones up here were mostly 5 or 6 inches. So the ones that have made it later on.
They've had a couple of years to grow bigger, and they made it at least one year up through here, but we're not seeing a number of young here. So this year they didn't make it up through.